Clinical evaluation has become an absolute imperative in orthopedics, but nothing will be possible without the enthusiastic involvement of surgeons. This requires the provision of a data collection tool that is not time-consuming, easy to use, and even playful element. Most of the data collection will therefore be done directly online, with immediate handling, available on smartphone, tablet, or PC. In addition to the current so-called OrthoWave academic version, dedicated to scientific work, we are pleased to offer in parallel this new version dedicated specifically to registries. This is the brand new version of OrthoWave V7 MDR, main data records. Here is a quick overview of the contents of this V7 MDR module. All of the usual main OrthoWave features are present, starting with both patient details and demographic status, followed by the arthroplasties window. For details of hip and knee interventions, primary or revision, we have a list of surgeries. Simply click on one of them to reach the corresponding surgery window. The menu of these surgery sections includes the usual tabs: identification of implants, operating details, complications, and images. For each of these interventions, the evaluation section for the hip and for the knee gives access to the different scores and proms to choose from. For example, OWAS 10, Harris Hip Score, Forgotten Joint Score, EQ5D5L, etc. The sub-window at the top right of the screen indicates the various classic tools in OrthoWave. Search by name, listing of patients in the database, multi-criteria search for all sections of the database. Input a new patient in the database. This is the role of the Secretariat when making appointments. Simply enter the patient's demographic data. Do not forget the patient's email and consent for participating in such a scientific database under our GDPR recommendations, and get connected via emails for proms and additional pieces of information. Input a new surgery in the database. This can be done immediately at OR by someone of the surgical team. At top right of the window, display the patient's directory with the list of all hip and knee replacements. To get access to a given patient, click on the name through the list or use the search area. All related surgeries, if any, are displayed, be they primaries or revisions, with related surgery dates. Click on the selected surgery date to open the related tabs, for example, surgery, surgical details, complications, and images. Most of the records are already inputted, even from the demographics or through the default values. Input surgical details. This tab summarizes the surgical data usually requested for clinical monitoring, as recommended by the Medical Devices Regulation. For a given surgeon in each establishment, all of these responses will have already been integrated beforehand into the default data. Input complications. In principle and fortunately, pre- and post-operatively, we will not have to report one or more complications. However, we must be able to record them, either intraoperatively in the post-operative period or in the longer term. Do not forget to indicate the date of the event for updating on real-time the survival curves. It is essential to document each complication, first with the drop-down list, followed by comments on the occurrence, treatment, and course of all complications. Input, images and radios. The ability to import or capture one or more images or X-rays directly from your smartphone or tablet is a major advantage. Whether in the operating room or in your office, the image is directly included in the arthroplasty file. It can be documented or exported to any processing software. Clinical evaluation. From face-to-face visits to proms. Clinical evaluation is now a regulatory obligation, in particular under the Medical Devices Regulation. This evaluation can be obtained during office visits, but most often now remotely via self-administered questionnaires, proms, sent by email to patients, under GDPR recommendations. Among the evaluation scores offered to choose from, we have a preference for our new OWAS 10 score. It is also possible to use, if necessary, a wide range of complementary questionnaires. The choice of the scores displayed is made by the database administrator, as is the allocation to this or that arthroplasty of automatic monitoring each year with the sending of the selected proms. Multi-criteria search. From part or all of the database. The construction of a search formula including the selection of one or more conditions, according to a simple, efficient and user-friendly procedure, remains a major condition for the use in real life of a database, which can include several hundred, if not several thousand, of clinical forms. This V7 MDR version is intended for rapid and user-friendly data entry, particularly for the medical devices regulation. Would you need additional modules for statistics, image catalogues, image editing, data exports, records, evaluations, as well as their monitoring? In addition to the automatic sending of prompts, use the premium version of OrthoWave V7. Welcome in the world of OrthoWave.